エンジェさん、軽く一雨来そうですぜ。下へ降りた方がいいんじゃないですか？
Alright everybody, welcome back to some more Umineko When They Cry. I'm sorry if this part is a bit shorter than usual. I don't think it should be. That's not what I'm planning it to be. But I'm sorry if it does end up being that. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But to start off with, welcome back. Last time we had a very philosophical part. I mean, I guess every Umineko part is a philosophical part. I mean, I did not expect this visual novel to be as philosophical as it was. I feel like something I noticed on this switch from anime to visual novel. I'm assuming Higurashi is similar to Minako, where it brings up a lot of these philosophical discussions. One thing I noticed on that switch up, because I watched the Higurashi anime, but I didn't read the Minako. You know, I didn't read the the Higurashi visual novel. And Umineko, I'm completely just reading the visual novel here, so no anime at all with Umineko. Um, One thing I noticed that, well, the anime did have some obvious philosophical talks and stuff. Certainly not as much as we're having here in the actual visual novel. And so I'm wondering, well, I bet Higurashi has that similar sort of thing, and it's just not something I was expecting this much of in these When They Cry series. So definitely welcome. Definitely not what I was expecting. You know what I mean? You know, after the start of episode 1 and stuff like that, and learning that this is supposed to be this murder mystery sort of thing, I was not expecting it to start getting to topics such as accepting other people's worlds and accepting that they believe in witches even if you don't believe in witches, which was the theme of last part, right? Angie, that's what the conclusion Angie arrived at. So she accepts the seven stakes even if she doesn't accept them in her world. It does sound contradicting, but it works. Um, and then, of course, the whole self-satisfaction thing. You know, Amakusa comes up in that. You know, humans seek self-satisfaction. You know, and being self-content with their life. Amakusa, you know, Mamon even said at the end, you know, about humans is that so humans just basically live to die, and in a way, Angie said that she's not wrong because living to die is kind of what humans do, right? I mean, we live so that when the moment we die with no regrets. We die so that we're content with what we achieved. And so, with that, Angie also read the conclusion that the easiest way to live is living in a way so that there's nothing you want to achieve. There's nothing you're you don't have any objective in a way, right? That is the easiest way to live because you can die. It's impossible for you to die with regrets because there's nothing you want to do. You know what I mean? There's nothing that is going to make you regret. But of course, I personally disagree with that lifestyle, or at least for me. You know what I mean? If other people don't live that way, just like Angie said, all people can live that way, and I cannot bark at that tree where I'd be like, nah, you can't live that way. I'm just saying, for me, that doesn't work. If it works for other people, then that's for them to decide because that's their lives. You know what I mean? And so I accept their way of living their life, just like how Angie accepts the fact that the seven stakes exist, despite uh, her herself not believing in them. So that also brings up the whole what is this gonna mean for Battler, right? Because this obvious contradiction might show up for Battler. This is something Battler's gonna have to take a stance on. What would Battler's stance be in this situation? And that's something I'm very interested to see if it ever does get brought up for Battler. You know, this whole um, accepting others' worldview even if you don't believe it yourself. Because Battler himself doesn't believe in witches. I mean, his entire battles is deny witches. But if you accept someone else's worldview where they believe in witches, then he's also um, in a way accepting witches, so he's gonna lose. He's technically going to lose the battle against Beot if he does that. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that was basically it. Last part, I guess, you know, they're still now sailing away over to Rokkenjima. Let's see what happens when she finally gets there. And yeah, we'll continue on this part. All right. Looks like a light shower is coming. Shouldn't be going down. All right, light shower. Maybe some rain, I guess. Kusa called out to me with an expression of surprise that I was still here. When I looked up, I saw that the island's silhouette had gotten much larger. We might reach land very soon. I remembered that the weather report had mentioned scattered rains. The sky wasn't dark enough for rain clouds. It'll probably be just for a short time. Even if the rain was light enough not to be a bother. Having rain start to fall as we approached the island felt like some kind of fate. It was probably raining on October 4th, 1986 as well. Oh baby, yes it was. Oh, it was all typhoon. I was approaching the Rockin' Gym of that day, and not just in distance. I went back down with Amakuso. Amakuso was carrying what looked like a quite large and heavy golf bag. Golf bag? The frick? Is he out here golfing? It was something Amakusa had brought back from God knows where after we split up for a day. Interesting. You did do that, okay. I wasn't going to inquire as to its contents, but it's hard to imagine that they're anything peaceful. A freaking golf bag? Why would he have a golf bag? Interesting. Probably some sniper rifle in there or something, I guess? Right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's he gonna need a golf bag for?
中身はあえて聞かないけど、重そうね。
どうしてこいつらは重くてかなわないのか。フランス人の教官が面白いことを教えてくれました。
Wait, what? Update time zones. I just got a notification to update my time zones. New time zone definitions are available. Really? Time zones will be updated the next time your phone restarts. Restart now. Okay. I'm restarting my phone. Time zones have changed, guys. It's August. New time zones. What are we? Are we gonna go? Are we gonna move forward 1 hour or back 1 hour? How's that? What's happening? Alright. I'll let my... Because with my phone it's automatic time. Alright. Anyway, we'll leave it. Let's keep reading. A French instructor taught me something interesting about that once.
何でもこいつらは重くあるべきだそうなんです。何しろ人の命は地球より重いんですから。こいつらはもっと重くて叱るべきなんだとか。
使う機会がないといいわね。
ないといいですな。
Amakusa set the golf bag like luggage down heavily beside him. Alright, let's check. It's restarted. Nope, the hour is the exact same. What the frick? So maybe time zones have reset in other parts of the world, but for me it's the same. Yeah, the time is the same as it used to be just a minute ago. Just a minute has passed, that's all. Cool. I'm glad time zones have reset in some places. Okay, anyway, let's keep reading. Helicopter, helicopter. Helicopter. Oh, it's a plane. Right, my bad. A two-propeller aircraft touched down on the runway. Of course it did. Close one, I mean. With the weather in these conditions, it could not have been a pleasant flight. Everything after this flight had been suspended due to the weather. Oh! Oh, okay! I was like, why is there an aircraft? Right, Kasumi's just chasing them, and the hype chasing music is there. Wow, so they've managed to corner her this far. That's really interesting. They're cornering her this far. Damn, okay. They're really chasing after her. They're really not letting her go. Cutting through the drizzle as she traversed the runway, Sumidera Kasumi entered the lobby with 2 black suits as guards. Damn, chasing. Alright. The 4 black suits who had been waiting inside the lobby stood up and respectfully lowered their heads. So okay, so she already had agents in there. She's just waiting. Alright. Damn, she's quick. Okay. Oh god, can't believe they're calling her freaking Kasumi-sama, bro.
プロペラ機ってのは揺れるわね。二度と乗りたくないわ。
お車を用意しております。どうぞこちらへ。
They went into 2 luxury cars that had been rented.
エンジは六軒島へ向かうはずよ。無人島とは実に都合がいいわね。お道具は用意できてるんでしょうね。
You prepare the tools. What the frick are you planning to do? What? The tools? What are you planning to do with tools? She's 18 years old. What are you gonna do, yo? Are you gonna torture her or something? I hope the tools, or I guess tools for capture. Even then, that's yo. Okay, that's crazy. The black suit in the passenger seat lifted a heavy bag that had been by his feet onto his lap. Opened the zipper wide and showed Kasumi the contents. Okay. Inside were several blocky objects wrapped tightly in silver aluminium foil. Ah, Americans! No! Why would you ruin this word? I was like, wait a minute, it's missing an eye, and then I remembered. No! I refuse to say it the way Americans say it. I don't care. United States of America can do whatever the hell they want. Alright? I'll also do whatever the hell I want. It's called silver aluminium. Aluminium? But no, okay, fine. Silver aluminum. Okay, call it aluminum if you want to. There's supposed to be an extra I in there. Oh my god, I am disgusted by it. This is making me angry for no reason, by the way. For no reason. Ain't no reason this should make me angry, by the way. Ain't no reason I should be depressed about this. Alright? It's just like, I'm sure the people who translated it was just Americans and that's what they're used to, and there's nothing wrong with that. So why am I so pressed? God damn it. God damn it, man. Aluminum. How does that sound natural to say? I guess it does sound natural to say if you said it your entire life, but it just doesn't sound natural to me. Aluminum. Aluminium just sounds correct. It just rolls better in my head, okay? Aluminium. Alright. So, blocky objects. Why guns? Why would they need tasers? Like, why would they need all... What do they even need to capture Angie? What the frick? Freaking wrapping them in aluminium foil? Freaking... Alright, what are they gonna do to her? He peeled one open to show her. Out peeked a black, blunt automatic pistol. Well, that's great. Because you're gonna need to shoot her down. By the way, if you kill Angie, where would the inheritance go? Wouldn't it just go to her grandfather or whatever? I guess if it went to her grandmother, it would still be good. But then they just need to kill the grandfather, and then the grandmother would get it. And grandmother is on Kasumi's side, right? So, yeah, you would just go to them straight up. So yeah, I guess they're just planning to kill Angie at this point. But from Angie's side, I guess Angie, this is her final destination. Rokijima is her last destination of to search for. After this, she's just done, right? After this, like, after she redeems herself for Maria, and she's done with her Rokijima investigation. So, okay, I'll pick the black, blunt automatic pistol. Okay. Oh, chapter over. Oh. Interesting. So it's what? 10 p.m. Yeah, the first day. Oh, we're going back to 1986, the first day. Okay. Ushiromi Kinzo is the name of this chapter. Okay. Very interesting. We're going back to the murders. We spent like 98% of this part outside of this island. So we're going back now. The chapter's called Ushiromi Kinzo. Okay, so we're gonna leave the whole Kasumi chasing after Angie bit for a while now. We're gonna go back to the island here where it's raining, so for you guys it's lagging a bit, but that's too bad. He was already approaching 10 at night. Okay, but that's a chapter over. Okay, so I could have finished that chapter at the end of the last part. I didn't notice that. That's the thing with when I don't know when the chapter's gonna end, so I don't really know how to time these videos very well. You know, if I'm 10 minutes away from finishing a chapter, I won't know that. I don't know how close I have to end a chapter, so I just have to end it where I feel like it's a decent stopping point. Alright, it was already approaching 10 at night. The typhoon had already engulfed Rokijima. Even the rose garden that had looked so beautiful during the day was now being beaten down upon by the fierce winds and and fierce winds and resisting with all its might, undulating and trying to keep the flowers from blowing away. Heading for the guest house through that rose garden, led by Shannon, where Battler, who was holding up an umbrella, Jessica and Maria, who was sleeping on George's shoulder. Ah, okay. Right.
ゲストハウスくらい俺たちだけでも行けるってのに。
It feels good to see Battler again, you know. It's been a while since we've seen Battler, right? It's just to get the guest house. We can make it there on our own.
いいんだぜシャノンちゃん。戻って休んでてくれよ。
いいえ、お送りするのも仕事ですので。
So Battler said it's okay to go back and rest. Now Shannon's saying, oh no, accompanying me is also my duty.
親族会議中はうちのお母さんとか源氏さんもピリピリしてるからな。下手に私たちが気を利かせるとシャノンがサボってると勘違いされちゃう。
If you're too considerate to her, they'll get the wrong idea and think she's slacking off. See.
そうだね。素直にお世話になった方がむしろ迷惑をかけないだろうね。ありがとう、シャノン。
It will cause her less trouble to graciously accept her offer. Thanks, Shannon. I agree.
いいえ、確かにお嬢様のおっしゃられます通り、今日のお屋敷はピリピリしています。だから私も皆さんとご一緒して外の空気が吸えるのでちょっと肩が楽です。
Coming with all of you has allowed me a breath of fresh air and taken some of the stress off me.
親族会議か。わざわざ俺たち子供を追い出すくらいだから相当タチの悪い話をするんだろうぜ。
They went to all the trouble of chasing us kids out, so they're probably having a pretty dang nasty discussion.
だろうね。僕たちはきっと何の力にもなれない。せめて邪魔をしないようにするのが一番の協力だと思うよ。
Just making sure to stay out of their way is the best way for us to be useful, I think.
どうせまた金って話だろうぜ。
You can bet they're just going on about money again.
普段散々金持ちだと吹聴してるくせにいざとなったらもったいぶりやがる。パーッと気前よくみんなで山分けすりゃいいのによ。
Why can't they just be generous and split it evenly between everyone?
そりゃ豪快な話だぜ。俺にも分け前がもらえりゃいいのによ。
Battler set goes, it'd be great if I got a share too.
もし俺にももらえたらそん時はシャノンちゃんにも分けてやるからな。
Because if I got some as well, I'd split with Shannon-chan right away. Oh, that's nice of you.
どうもありがとうございます。お気持ちだけで嬉しいです。
That's alright, but I appreciate the offer.
シャノンは欲がないね。年頃の女の子なら買いたいものがいっぱいあるだろうに。
Normally, girls of your age have plenty of things they want to buy. Well, Shannon has not grown up in the way a lot of the girls you meet have, George. You probably meet girls in some, you know, a decent school, a really decent school that Eva and Hideyoshi purposely got for you. So the girls you're gonna meet are probably ones that are, you know, are wanting things to buy, right? But Shannon, being an orphan and having served in the Yoshirome family since she was extremely young, does not have the same values.
そうですね。でも私欲しいものの中にお金で買えるものがありませんので。
None of the things I want can be bought with money. Interesting.
ひゅー
Phew! Yeah, no, I feel.
無欲だな。俺なんか欲しいもん全部並べたら金がいくらあっても足りねえぜ。
Man, Battery, you're more like Mammon. Shannon is the opposite of Mammon. If you line up all the things I wanted, all the gold in the world wouldn't be enough.
お金で買えるものにはだぜ。シャノンの言う金で買えない欲しいものって何かな。ジョージ兄さんは心当たりある？
Okay, so Jessica once again pressing on the romance discussion. Any idea, George? What does Shannon want?
さあ、なんだろうね。
Hahaha.
シャノンじゃないとわからないね。
Yeah, only Shannon would know. Yeah, you definitely don't, George, and I don't, and Jessica doesn't. Obviously, we don't know.
私にもわかりません。
Shannon says I don't know either, even though she earlier was so confidently said the things I want can't be bought with money. So all of a sudden now she's switching up. George and Shannon looked down with their faces red. Butler had also heard the details, so he knew what Jessica was teasing them about.
ジョージの兄貴は俺にとっても尊敬できるお人だ。シャノンちゃんは本当にいい人と巡り会えたと思うぜ。
I think you met a really great person, Shannon.
だな。私もジョージ兄さんなら安心してシャノンを任せられるぜ。
You can rest easy knowing Shannon is in good hands. Okay, George's getting praise here.
からかうのはよしてくれよ。僕たちにとっては真面目な問題なんだ。それよりジェシカちゃんの方だってどうなんだい？
Canon?
カノン君と少しは仲良くなれたのかい？
What about you, Jessica? Being able to get a little closer to Canon, says George. Alright, that's gonna tease her. Now she's gonna blush all of a sudden. Battle was not expecting that one.
お前、カノン君とそういう仲なのかよ。
So you and Canon got it like that? See, that's my impression of what Battler said. But that's my translation of what Battler said in English, you know what I mean? Like, I know that's the proper translation, but Battler didn't say, so you and Canon are like that? Nah, Battler must be saying, you and Canon got it like that? You got it going on like that? For real? Nah, that's my impression. Oh my god, MGH! Potential energy, that's the formula. No way, Jessica. I mean, I'm glad you keep repeating it for yourself. That's great. I'm glad. I'm happy for you. Just don't remember to repeat, you know, half times m times v squared. Remember that. That's also, you know, I know that's great for you, but you know, but I'm glad you're repeating this formula at least. Potential energy, great.
汚いぜ、ジョージ兄さん。そういう話の切り返し方は汚いぜ。
Twisting the conversation around like that is just mean. I mean, you started it. Be ready. Return fire with fire. Wait, return fire with fire. What I said doesn't make sense, but you guys know exactly what I tried to say there. No, actually, it does make sense. Return fire with fire. Because if you receive fire, so return it with fire. I don't know. Whatever. As they had an animated discussion with ups and downs, the four kids headed for the guest house. The annual family conference was extremely important to the Yoshiromi family, and this year in particular seemed like it was going to be especially so. Apparently, the family head Kinzo was personally going to be making a very serious announcement. Oh, I completely forgot about that! And everyone other than the adults had been strictly ordered to leave the mansion. I completely forgot about that! Kinzo did say something about on the lines of, oh, I need to fix who becomes the next family head. I completely forgot about that because I've been so invested in the whole Angie and Maria story. But yes, he did. Kinzo did say he had he wanted to fix all that. Alright, this is gonna be interesting. Now I'm hyped again. Yeah. I was like, oh, here we go. We're gonna see the mirrors again. But no, okay, Kinzo's making an announcement. Alright, let's see what it's gonna be then. Butler hadn't attended the family conference in 6 years, so he hadn't really noticed. But according to Jessica, there seemed to be a very tense atmosphere tonight. Oh, come on, I pressed the freak wrong button. Wee Milo Maria. Completely different from a normal year. Okay. Common sense made it clear that Kinzo, whose remaining life was short, was going to make some big announcement about the succession of the head and the distribution of his fortune.
しかし驚いたな。まさか本当にじい様が登場するとは。
It is a bit surprising.
なるほど。これが魔女の反撃というわけね。
This is the witch's counterattack.
金蔵というジョーカーはもう少し伏せていたかったところだが、そろそろ切るのが頃合いであろう。
So Kinzo's a card you've been planning to to play for a while, but you were just like, no, I'll keep him down on the down low for. So for the last 3 episodes, you're like, I'll keep him down. Oh, episode 4, you know what? He's began using Bluetooth. Angie's out here to help him out and stuff like that. All right, let me turn over Kinzo.
切り札は切るためにある。
Trump cards exist to be used. All right, so Kinzo's your trump card, okay? Let's see what Kinzo's gonna do and how that's gonna affect us.
くそ、じい様は最初から死んでて、その代わりに謎の18人目が紛れ込んでるっていう俺の推理は、ここに来ていきなりバッサリってわけか。
Well, I don't think so, because first things first, that only counts for the previous game board. That has not, what you're saying has not happened in this game board yet. Also, it doesn't just have to be Kinzo, it could be any other person that died in the first Twilight, for example, that could have gotten out of the island and someone else snuck in instead of them. That's also a possibility, because we didn't check every single room where all the servants died and etc. after the first time we checked, so it's still a human possibility. So your theory is still not off, Battler, completely in my opinion.
いつかはそなたが金蔵を疑いに来ることは読めておった。さあさあ、これでそなたの推理は再びゼロに戻ったぞ。
But remember, Battler, shotgun thinking. Remember what you said there very early on this episode. You need to think like a shotgun. Don't just think of one blue theory, think of multiple and fire them out like a shotgun.
金蔵は最初から死んでいて、その代わりにわらわが18人目として紛れ込んでいたという推理はこれでパーだ。
Well, again, doesn't that only count for the previous game board? I don't really get how that proves the theory. That, I mean, it proves the theory for this episode, but not the previous episode. He still was able to solve. Well, at least he was able to search for what happened in the previous episode. Unless you're able to say this, that Kinzo did the same thing the previous episode, but we didn't see that he did. He died in the first Twilight, so apparently.
くそ、だがくじけねえぞ。一つの推理が外れただけだ。嵐のように、暴風のように襲いかかってやる。
Like a shotgun is what she said.
そうでなくてはな、そうでなくてはな。まだまだ第一の晩祭始まっていないぞ。屈服にはあまりに早すぎる。
そうね。そして赤き真実で否定されたわけでもない。
That's also true.
今この瞬間の時点でまだバトラの説は破られたわけではない。
It's true. If we're going based on the winning and losing conditions, Battler's still in the lead with that specific theory, so.
勝ったつもりになるのも早すぎるわよ。
そうだな。確かにあっさり鵜呑みにするにはまだ早いな。じい様がいよいよ登場するということにはなってるが、やっぱり体調が悪くなったうんぬん言って現れない可能性だってある。じい様は本当は死んでいるという事実をクラウスおじさんがギリギリまで苦し紛れで引き延ばしているだけかもしれない。
なるほどなるほど、そういう考え方もある。好きにするがよい。すぐに決着する。すぐにな。
Let's see it. All of the relatives and Nanjo could be seen in the dining hall. Nanjo sat alone, quietly watching the wind and rain outside. Cross was sitting in the seat of his own rank, with Nazi standing motionlessly at his side. Standing? Interesting. All the other siblings and their parents and their partners were gathered and their partners were gathered at the opposite end of the long table, whispering to each other.
そりゃ本
当か。
ええ、マリアは傘をくれた人物をお父様だというのよ。
Oh! Interesting. That's a bit of a switch up. So Kinzo's the one who gave her the umbrella, not Beatrice this episode. Okay.
なんちゅうことや。ということはつまりわしらの作戦は根底から崩れたっちゅうわけか。
And that means the foundation of our strategy has collapsed.
作戦も何もお父様が健在で自ら発表があると言った以上、もう兄さんとのくだらない駆け引きは一切不要だわ。
His father is healthy and has said that he will make an announcement himself. Our trivial bargaining with Nissan was completely pointless.
だな。クソ親父め。もったいぶらずにとっとと現れてくれりゃよかったんだ。おかげで俺たちは兄貴と無駄に揉めただけだ。
Thanks to that, we've just been quarreling with Aniki uselessly.
それを試したかったのかもね。血のつながってない私が言うのもなんだけど、あなたたちのお父様、かなり頭はいいわよ。
Your father is very intelligent, you realize?
日中のやりとりは多分使用人の誰かに聞かれてお父様に報告されてたのよ。なんてこと。お父様の遺産が目当てで騒いでることはもうバレバレってことじゃない。ああ、なんてことよ。
The fact that we're clamoring after father's inheritance is now clear as day to him. Ah, just incredible. Eva held her head, uncharacteristically dejected. If, as Kiria had said, this had been Kinzo's design from the beginning, a huge setup spread over more than a year and a bit to find the siblings' true natures. Then they had fallen for it completely.
お父さんの耳に入ったとまだ決まったわけやない。
We still know for sure that it's reached father's ears.
いいえ、入ってるに決まってるわ。兄さん以外の全員がお父様は死んでいると言い切りお父様の健在を信じなかった。
And everyone but Nissan claimed that he was dead, and none of us believed in his good health.
ああ、もう終わりだわ。お父様は宣言するのよ。兄さんこそが跡継ぎで、私たちには片翼を身にまとう資格もないと宣告するのよ。
If that's what you believe, Eva, then you'll actually be in for a surprise.
あ、私は。
姉さん、しっかり。
Nissan, don't give up.
ローザさん、マリアちゃんは本当にお父様に傘をもらったのかしら。
I wonder whether Maria really did receive that umbrella from father?
え、どういう意味？
What do you mean? Is Kiria saying that either Maria lied or that someone disguised themselves as Kinzo?
マリアちゃんはお父様に会ったかもしれない。でも私たちは会ってないわ。マリアちゃんがそうだと主張しているだけよ。
Maria only claims to have met him.
そんなマリアが嘘をついてるというの？
Are you saying that Maria is telling a lie?
落ち着けよローズ。マリアちゃんが嘘をつくとは言ってねえ。だがマリアちゃんは素直な子だろう。
We're not calling Maria a liar, but she's the kind of kid who accepts what people tell her, right?
例えばだが源氏さんあたりがこの傘はおじい様からマリア様に渡すように言われましたみたいなことを言ったら、マリアちゃんは親父に会ったわけでなくてもおじい様に傘をもらったって言うかもしれねえぜ。
If, say, Genji came up to her and said something like, I was told by your grandfather to hand this to you, Maria-sama, then even if Maria-chan hadn't met Dad, she still might say that she got an umbrella from him, right?
そうね。その手が考えられるわ。
That could be the trick, says Eva.
だがな、マリアちゃんはこう言ったんやろ。おじい様がやってきて傘を渡してくれたと。
But Maria-chan said, grandfather came and handed me an umbrella.
ええ、そうおじい様から直接受け取ったとはっきり言ったわ。
She was clear that she received the umbrella directly from her grandfather.
直接か。お手上げだな。
Well, that's that then.
下手な考え休むに似たりとはよく言ったものだわ。ちょっと考えてみたら傘がどうこうなんてどうでもいい問題だわ。
Whoever said that the thinking of the incompetent can pass for sleeping was absolutely right. If you think about it a bit, all this about the umbrella is irrelevant.
どうしてよ。マリアちゃんが兄さんに買収されて、あたかもお父様が健在であるかのように嘘を頼まれたかもしれないでしょ。傘が確かにお父様から渡されたなんて証拠どこにもありはしない。
There's no evidence that father actually handed the umbrella to her. She could have been bribed by Nissan? Okay.
マリアちゃんが誰から傘をもらっていようとも、あるいは傘なんかそもそももらっていなかったとしても、お父様はもうじき現れる。現れたお父様の前に傘の問題なんて全くどうでもいいこと。
With father in front of us, the question of the umbrella would be completely irrelevant.
つまり傘の問題が取り沙汰されるのはそうでない場合ということよ。
The only time that the umbrella question comes into play is the other case.
そうでない場合ってのは何のことだ？
What do you mean the other case?
そうか。若キリエさんが言いたいのはこういうことやろ。
This is probably what Kiryu-san's saying.
お父さんもうすぐ出会ってくることになっとるが、また難癖をつけて結局現れん可能性がまだ残ってるっちゅうことやろ。
There's still a chance of some excuse why he won't turn up in the end, right? Why father wouldn't turn up here. Okay?
そうか。そうよね。
That's true.
私たちの追求に兄さんが苦し紛れの時間稼ぎでお父様が現れると出任せを言ったのかもしれない。やっぱりお父様はすでに亡くなっていて、兄さんは今なおまだ健在であると嘘をつき続けている。
So, ever saying that Cross could just be buying time, father really has passed away already, and Nissan is still lying and saying that he's in good health.
つまりお父様が現れれば全ての策は通用しない。考える必要もない。私たちは訴状の魚。運を天に任せてお父様との直接交渉に臨むしかないわ。それこそ土下座とげんこつを覚悟してお金を無心するしかない。
In short, if father appears, then no schemes will be effective. There's no need to even think about it. We're fish on the chopping board. We'd have no choice but to leave fate to the heavens and face direct negotiations with father. No choice but to beg for money in the expectation that we'll need to prostrate ourselves and be subjected to his fist.
でも逆にお父様が現れなければ私たちの当初の作戦は何も揺るがない。
But if father doesn't appear, then our original strategy isn't hampered in the least.
なるほど。つまりどっちに転ぼうとも今さらあたふたする必要は何もないってことね。
No matter which way it goes, there's actually no need to get flustered now.
そういうこと。お父様が現れれば本来の親族会議が行われるだけの話。現れなければ私たちは引き続きクラウス兄さんを追求すればいいだけの話なのよ。
お父さんの機嫌が急に悪くなってみたいなクラウスさんの言い逃れを決して許さんようにせんとな。
Gotta make absolutely sure not to let Cross son talk his way out of it.
どうやら私たちが本当に検討すべきは、兄さんがどんな策を浪してこの場をごまかそうとしてくるかよ。往生際の悪さは私が一番よく知っているわ。
I know better than anyone just how far Cross will go to refuse to admit defeat.
お父様がお元気なら私たちは土下座してお金を無心し、
If father is well, then we prostrate ourselves and beg for money.
クラウス兄さんの茶番だったなら私たちは醜い兄弟喧嘩を再開し、 今年も素敵な親族会議になりそうね。
If it's cross Nissan's face, then we continue our ugly sibling fight. Seems like this year's family conference is going to be as wonderful as ever.
だな。下手な考え、休むに似たりってわけか。もうじき22時だな。兄貴に催促してみるか。
It's almost 10. Shall we press the on key? Rudolph and the rest looked at Cross. Firmly seated, he looked like he was awaiting Kinzo's arrival with an air of composure. They couldn't tell whether that really was composure or whether he was scheming about how to tie together his line.
あなた
Dear.
落ち着きなさい。もう今さらジタバタしても始まらん。源氏さんに任せよう。
Making a fuss here won't achieve anything. Let's leave it to Genji-san.
もうじき10時ですね。
It's almost 10 o'clock. That was the time that had been set for tonight's family conference to open. And in addition, it was also the time that the Ushiome family had needed to appear. Okay. Right then, they heard the sound of footsteps approaching from the hall. There were multiple sets. Natsu jerked her head up with a start. But there came the sound of a knock, and her expression filled with disappointment. Because Kinzo probably wouldn't have knocked.
失礼いたします。戸締まりの見回りが終わりました。
We had finished closing up the mansion for the night. It was Goda and Kumasawa. Unlike the physically fit Goda, it was rare for Kumasawa with her old body to still be tasked with work with a slave. Of course, Cross also seemed to know that.
ご苦労だった。こんな時間まで申し訳ないね、熊沢さん。
My apologies for making you work at such a time, Kumasawa.
いいえ。こう見えてもまだまだ夜更かしは得意でございますので。
Hey, 3.5 hoes. Makes sense that Virgilia was trapped within you, Kumasawa, more than anyone else, because you're the one that has beaten everyone else when it comes to the hose in the human side. You've even beaten Cross was the one who started it. It's the Cross hose, but you've gone 3.5 here. That's impressive. Ho 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 ho. All right.
熊沢についてだけは立ち会いを外させても良いのでは。さすがに体に応えるでしょう。
It really will be difficult on her body, I imagine.
使用人も全員揃えろとの命令だ。逆らえん。
The order was to gather all the servants as well. I cannot disobey. Tonight's family conference was clearly different from a normal one. On a normal year, no one was able to attend the family conference except relatives. It would have been inconceivable for any servants to be present. This year was different. They had been told to have all the servants in attendance for the family conference. Of course, they would not be allowed to speak. They were there as observers. Just what in the world was going to happen that needed 5 servants to observe? Even Cross didn't know. 2.5 hosts, let's go, Kumasawa.
徹夜はこう見えても強いんですよ。旦那様もサバをもりもり食べれば夜ももっとたくましくなれますよ。
Freaking mackerel, you and your mackerel jokes again.
なるほど。まだまだお元気でおられる。100歳になっても元気でお勤めに違いない。
Nora, you'll still be working with such energy when you're past 100. That's funny, Cross.
奥様、勝手ながら軽食の準備をさせていただきました。いつでも配膳できますので、ご指示を頂戴できればと思います。
Prepare the light snack. It is ready to be served at any time. Just give the word.
ありがとう。やはりあなたは気が利きますね。他の皆さんにコーヒーのおかわりを勧めてください。
Please ask our guests whether they would care for some coffee.
かしこまりました。
Certainly. After bowing slightly, Goro took the pot towards the relatives gathered at the other end of the table. As he did, more footsteps approached from the hallway. A single set. They were light. Kanon? Even before the knock, they could imagine who it was. Kanon, right?
失礼いたします。
Shannon, okay.
お子様方をゲストハウスへお送りいたしました。
I've taken the children to the guest house.
ご苦労でした。今夜は特別な番です。緊張感を欠かさないように。
Tonight is a special evening. Make sure you stay alert.
はい、かしこまりました、奥様。
Genji, accompanied by Kanon, had gone to meet Kinzo. There was still no sign of their return. Okay. The hands of the clock were creeping past 10. Once sure of that, Eva spoke to Cross.
兄さん、もう時間だけれども、親族会議まだ始まらないのかしら？
Is the family conference still not going to start?
主賓の到着が遅れている。しばらく待ちたまえ。
The arrival of the guest of honor has been delayed. Wait a short while.
いつまで？悪いけど時間を切ってもらうわよ。お父様がなかなか来ないなんてのを延々と続けて夜明けまで待たされたらたまらないわ。
Sorry, but I'm setting a time limit on this. I won't have you saying father hasn't quite shown up yet. Over and over until dawn.
親父殿のお越しになる時間を私が約束などできるものか。何を焦っているのだね。まずはコーヒーでも飲んで落ち着かんかね。
Why are you in such a rush? Why not drink some coffee and calm down for now?
兄貴、俺たちは親族会議のために集まってるんだ。茶番じゃない。あと30分は待つ。だがそれでダメなら書斎に押しかけさせてもらうぜ。
Wait 30 more minutes, but if that gets us nothing, we're barging to the study.
押しかけるとは物騒な。当主様への敬いにあまりにも欠ける行為です。
That would be an action quite lacking respect for the head.
そうよね。ごめんなさい。あと30分はおとなしくしてるわ。
Sorry about that. We'll sit that for 30 more minutes. Hey. Oh, where's the hole, Cross? You're the hole man. The guy that started it.
30分後にも同じ笑いが浮かべられるか楽しみだわ。
Look forward to seeing whether you can keep that same smile 30 minutes from now.
親父殿が死んでいる
You honestly believe
と
that
本気
father
で
is
信
dead?
じているのかね。
それを今さら議論する気はないわ。お父様がここにやってくればいいだけの話。兄さんを言いまかす必要なんて何もないもの。
There's absolutely no need for me to argue you down, Nissan. Okay.
後ろ宮家当主は正当なる人間へ正当なる手続きをもって継承される。お前が何の策を浪したところで何も抗えんよ。もちろん私も。
No matter what you scheme, you may scheme, you cannot go against this. Of course, the same goes for me.
何をわけのわかんないことを。今まで散々自分こそが次期当主だと威張ってきたくせに。
You've been bragging all these years about being the successor to the head yourself.
お前の言葉をそのまま返そう。それを今さら議論する気はないと。親父殿がやってきて自らの口でそれを宣言すればいいだけの話だ。お前を言いまかす必要などどこにもない。だったか。
It's completely unnecessary for me to argue you down, right? Ross casually turned Eva's words back on her. Of course, that poured fuel in Eva's anger, but it didn't ignite. Because in that instant, the sound of a very loud knock rang out. Here we go, Kinzo's coming in. With Kanon and Genji. Both Genji and Kanon were usually very reserved when they knocked. They wouldn't hit the door with such a violent strength. It was like a judge's gavel slamming down in a call to order. So everyone fell quiet. The door opened slightly and Genji showed himself. Then he spoke with a solemn tone different from his usual one. It wasn't the tone he used when carrying out his duties. It was the tone he used when speaking for Kinzo himself. So just by hearing Genji speak like that, the siblings were struck with a sudden tension.
皆様、ご着席を。
Take your seats, everyone. With those words, the dining hall fell into complete silence and everyone rushed back to the designated seats. They were like students who had been making a lot of noise just before homeroom, hurriedly returning to their seats when the teacher came. It might even have felt humorous. But there was no way anyone would joke about it. Everyone sat in order, and Shannon, Gora, and Kumasawa stood up straight in a row by the wall.
栄光ある後ろ宮家の当主にして金色に輝ける六軒島の領主後ろ宮金蔵卿のおなりであります。
The head of Ushiruma family, Lord Rokkenjima, blah blah blah. Lord Ushiruma Kinzo is present. Of the double doors into the dining hall, Genji opened the right door from the inside, and Kanon opened the left door from the outside. Here we go. Here he comes. Ushiroma Kinzo making his announcement. And welcomed by the deepest of bows from the two servants, with his cape fluttering majestically, Kinzo appeared. Kinzo's gait had a dignified weight to it, and it was very hard to believe that he had been diagnosed as having not much time left to live. Kenji pulled back Kinzo's seat and motioned for him to sit. But Kinzo remained standing, signaling with his chin for Genji to move back.
Yo koso Shokun, 六軒島へ。何を怯えた顔をしておるのか、エヴァ。
Fantastic place to end it right there, with Kinzo welcoming everybody to Rokkenjima. This will be a great way for me to welcome y'all as well at the start of next part. This is a really good place to end it at the start as well. Yeah, like I said, this may have been a little bit shorter than the usual Umineko part. This might have been hit an hour, but still think we made some alright progress, you know what I mean? We're starting up here, finally getting to the island business. I believe now we're starting on chapter 11, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Umineko when they cry. I'll see you guys next time for Kinzo's announcement. It's gonna be exciting. I'll meet you guys there. Hope you guys enjoyed this at least as much as I enjoyed doing it. And yeah, alright y'all. Peace.